Good evening, Bahamas. You're tuned in to NB12 Weekend, broadcasting from Cable 12 Studios in Robinson Road. Coming up tonight in news, Malia workers vote to strike. Government to rebuild the Bamsey dorm destroyed during Thursday's fire. The Atlantis president expects a great turnaround for the tourism industry, plus thousands turn out for the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. We've got those stories and more coming up tonight. I'm Kyle Joaquin, and NB12 Weekend starts right now. Topping news tonight, line staff at Malia Nassau Beach Resort voted in overwhelming support of a strike amid an ongoing gratuity dispute with hotel officials. Secretary General of the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union Darren Woods tells NB12 that out of the 371 Malia workers eligible to vote, 226 voted. Well, he says 225 people voted to strike while just one person voted against it. Polls closed at Workers' House at 6 p.m. Friday. Hotel union officials say this is what they have been waiting for.
If you want a change, then there's a way to get what you want changed. It's through negotiation. The same way they would say to us, if we have people out, they're not going to negotiate with people out, but we are not going to negotiate with a gun to our head saying, you sign or we wouldn't pay.
The union has challenged Bahamar's decision to remove an automatic 15% gratuity from the food and beverage bill of some guests at Malia as it transitions into an all-inclusive resort. Hotel Union President Nicole Martin says the vote to strike will send a strong message to hotel officials.
The fact that we have this strike vote poll being conducted, I believe, is a message. It is actually the first since 1998 that this hotel union has conducted a strike vote poll. So yes, we hope to send a message. And to be very honest, I believe a message has to be sent not just to Malia, but to all the hotel operators who believe that they can show up and do whatever it is they want to do.
In December, Malia obtained an injunction that prevents the union or employees from taking industrial action. However, Woods says that injunction was expired on Wednesday. Well, Fire Chief Walter Evans has revealed that several people are assisting police with their investigation into the fire that chewed through a dormitory of the Bahamas Agricultural and Marine Science Institute in Andros. Officials still haven't revealed a possible cause of the fire, but Evans said today arson has not been ruled out. The blaze raged for 4 hours Thursday night before officials were able to bring it under control. Evans said though the building is still standing, it is badly charred and the roof was destroyed. Deputy Prime Minister Philip Davis, who traveled to Andros yesterday to assess the damage, says government plans to rebuild the male dorm. He says while the government is saddened by the fire, it will not be distracted as it moves to diversify our economy. Bamsey classes started late last year. Well, thousands lined up at the crack of dawn for the annual Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. The event saw many come from near and far to put their sneakers to the pavement in support of breast cancer survivors. Officials say this year's turnout was much bigger than last year's, and they expect even more participants in 2016. Our Simone Davis took part and tells us more in this report.
We just finished the Susan G. Komen Race for a Cure from Montague Beach to Paradise Island, where many cancer survivors were honored and many showed their continued support.
While many were still asleep at the crack of dawn, these cancer supporters were full of energy as they celebrated the lives of those living with cancer, those whose lives it claimed, and those who survived it. President of Marathon Bahamas Franklin Wilson said the annual race was a great success as more people turned out this year than last year. He also said the Susan G. Komen Race for a Cure is the best preparation for Marathon Bahamas, set to take place Sunday. Meanwhile, former U.S. Ambassador to the Bahamas Ned Siegel said as part of the Bahamas Breast Cancer Initiative Foundation, it was inspiring to see people support the cause.
We're part of the Bahamas Breast Cancer Initiative and Foundation. We test as many women as we can. We test 2,000 women a year. And this is just wonderful to see everybody coming out and celebrating what we all do. And that's to really bring awareness to breast cancer here in the Bahamas.
Okay, awesome. How would you rate the success of this year's race?
This is the best race. We did 1,500 last year. We're doing 2,000 this year. Next year we'll do 2,500. It just grows every year.
Not all participants finished the race, but those who did enjoyed lots of entertainment on Paradise Island, such as a performance by Bahamian band Visage and a Jonkanu Rush Out.
People drinking rum.
First-time participants described the race as an amazing experience and said they plan to participate again in the future.
It felt great to participate in the race, especially as a team, because we believe in contributing to our community and just volunteering for a greater cause. And this is such a great cause for our company and for the community in general.
It feels good, especially I've met a lot of people here that are survivors, and it's amazing that they're out here and that they're doing this, and it's a great thing for them.
Some participants supported the cause in memory of loved ones who lost their battle with the disease.
For me today, it's a bittersweet feeling because I'm here. I'm walking basically in memory of my aunt that passed 4 years ago, and I'm also celebrating a friend of mine who is a survivor of cancer.
It is very important for me to participate in this event because it's in memory of my mother, Cheryl Williams, in celebration of my grandmother, her mother, Esther Archer, and in celebration of my best friend, Lakeisha Martley. Also, I have an aunt that died, Justina Curtis. So it means a lot for me to be here today.
Okay, and would you continue to support any further cancer?
Always, because it's such an important thing, especially for Bahamian women, that we need to take care of our bodies. We need to find a cure for this. This is a disease that has hit this population, this Bahamian society in particular. We have lost so many good women to this.
Although many Bahamians live with this deadly illness, these cancer survivors had nothing to be sad about as they were showered with love while they received gifts, flowers, medals, and dedicated songs. This cancer survivor says the Susan G. Komen Race for a Cure helped to give her hope and comfort to know that everything will be okay.
For me, it's important because they helped me. Susan Komen assisted me with my port when I needed help. And the sister group and the BBCIF, the group I'm running with today, and they are a wonderful support group. They help with gene testing, genetic testing, and that is so important for every Bahamian woman especially. I think over the past 3 years, people have been so good in encouraging and helping and bringing it to the forefront, talking about things that wasn't talked about before. And it's really important for us cancer survivors to know that it's okay.
This is very important to me because I am now a 14-year breast cancer survivor, and I'm so happy to be here and to be alive because God is truly good. Because I could have been gone, but to God be the glory, I'm here. So I look forward to this, and I'm just praising and thanking the Lord for His wonderful kindness and His tender mercy. And to all survivors, I'd like to encourage them, be encouraged, don't give up.
Susan G. Komen works to end breast cancer in the U.S. and throughout the world by investing millions of dollars in breast cancer research and billions in community outreach programs. Dr. Jason Carey is one of those beneficiaries from the Susan G. Komen organization who helps with the breast cancer research to find a way to lower the breast cancer rate in the Bahamas. Carey says his main goal is to restore hope to the hopeless.
I was born and raised in the Bahamas. I'm from the Bahamas, and I went to school, and I decided that cancer research was what I wanted to do. And what I realized was that I can make a difference on the treatment side. So my research is involved in taking the worst types of cancer, and it's known as triple negative breast cancer, and seeing if there are ways that we can make it more impactful and essentially save more lives. And so we're investigating new treatments and just trying to find a way to provide more hope for those who currently have not a lot of hope.
Many local businesses sponsored and supported the race, such as Sunshine Insurance at Atlantis, John Bull, Scotiabank, Cable Bahamas, and many more, including the staff at the Nassau Guardian.
I think it's really great to be out here to not only raise money, but to raise awareness for something so positive. Yeah, Bahamas, yeah!
Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.
As government prepares to fully regulate the web shop industry this year, Assurewind CEO Leander Bryce says the process for his company has been smooth thus far. He also called it a fair process.
I think everything they're doing up to par. I know for sure that the process that they're doing is not just standard for the Bahamas. It's actually a worldwide standard. It's actually the highest standard that we have ever seen in the gaming environment. And that's why I say I think we're going to be used as a model for any other country to come in and take a look at our gaming operations.
Assurewind currently has 37 locations throughout the Bahamas with 185 employees. Tourism Minister Obi Wilchcombe, who also has responsibility for gaming, has indicated that some 12 companies have paid their back taxes. However, he added that no more than 8 licenses will be granted. Bryce says just like in the case of other web shops, his company is paying quite a hefty price for the regulation. But he's confident once all is said and done, they should be one of the few web shops granted a license.
It's a pretty penny, all we heard. I'm sure you've seen the figures that are published in the papers. I think it's all sort of diverse in different companies and what their portion of those fees were. But that's all I can say for now. You know, during this process, we're going through a regularized process, and it's a lot of things that, you know, we can't relate to. I mean, you know, comment on at this point. We're not at liberty to say until licensing process has been completed. But a sure win is going to be applying, and hopefully we should find ourselves here today.
Atlantis President and Managing Director George Marcantonus said he is anticipating a boost in the tourism industry in 2015. He said although the government has announced plans to transform downtown Nassau, there are still some steps that need to be taken to strengthen the country's tourism product.
The problem with downtown, I think, is it's not very attractive. I know there are big plans, and we've read all about the Chinese investment that's going to go from Arawak Key to wherever it goes. You know, talk is cheap. The sooner that we have some plans that we can all look at, the better. But I think these sort of things make this destination better. Having huge traffic jams, jitneys, taxis, etc., all the way down Bay Street, creating traffic delays, horse carts that you know, go at 2 miles an hour. I mean, these are things that bother us who live here, but they also are not positive for us with tourists.
Marcantonus noted that the Downtown Nassau Partnership is addressing these concerns. He also mentioned the issue of crime in that area, noting that many cruise ship passengers do not disembark when in port because of crime. He said this is another top priority that should be addressed.
Some crime incident that causes people to be frightened of the Bahamas and not to come to Atlantis or Bahama or, you know, anywhere else in our country. And of course the same applies to cruise ship passengers. We hear sometimes disturbing reports about the fact that as many as 20-25% of the cruise ship passengers do not disembark at this port of call. Now, it's not just this port of call. I mean, cruise ship passengers by nature tend to be like that. Not everyone disembarks at every port. But our goal should be, we want them to come off. We want them to come off. We want them to come into a great place. We want them for it to be crime-free.
When NB12 returns, a top psychologist talks crime. So stay with us.